In this video, I'm going to be trying to survive 100 days of Minecraft on a volcanic island. But this isn't just a normal volcanic island, because this island has mutated the creatures living here. And these creatures are insanely powerful, so it is going to be extremely hard to survive. So I'm gonna need some good armor, because without it, I won't be able to survive for too long. My second goal is to build a compound to be able to survive this island. And my third goal is to find and kill the fire dragon before it makes the volcano wipe out all of existence. Can I do it? Watch the whole video to find out. I also want to say thank you so much for 60k. We are nearing 100k with every video, so make sure to be subscribed before then. And lastly, enjoy this video. It is day 1, I spawned on the island. I looked around for a little bit before I started to get my wood tools. I chopped down this tree right here, and once I had those wood tools, I was able to get stone tools right after that. I found these sheep on the hillside, and I knew that food would be a rarity on this island, so I killed them, and I knew that they would last me for a little while. I decided to keep running up the hill when I found this cave, and right inside the cave was some coal, and I knew I'd need that for cooking the food, so I grabbed it. Farther down into the cave, I found some iron, and there was a lot in this vein right here. While mining the iron, I heard thunder, and I knew the island was upset. The thunder just kept getting louder and louder, and I was wondering what was going on up there. Even while I was smelting my iron, the thunder was still roaring above me. That's when I knew that this island would not be easy to survive on. But luckily, I had gotten a bit of iron, so now I had some armor and some tools. And after spending the whole rest of the night getting iron, I had a full set of iron armor and some tools. So I figured that I would leave the cave and see what was happening up on the surface. And up there, it was raining, which doesn't really happen much on a volcanic island. And I saw some mobs, and I did not want to run into those because I knew that they would be able to kill me already, and I didn't want to lose this challenge yet. While moving around the island, I found this guy, and I knew that I would have to kill these zombies before I could get to him. These zombies got in my way, and I finished them all off, and then the big monster found me. It started chasing right at me, and I didn't know how powerful it was. Its reach was insane, and I knew I had to run or else I would have died right there. I continued running until I got up into this tree, and the monster was still chasing me. It even got right up to the tree trunk to kill me. And while I was hitting it, it came up and knocked me off. I had to run from this thing because it was super fast or else it would catch up to me. I eventually got away and I saw some awesome lightning in the sky, but I had to ignore that because there were tons of monsters in front of me. This mutated zombie came up and was trying to attack me. I hit it with a ton of axe crits and it still wouldn't die, and it did a ton of damage, not to mention I had hunger now. I decided to go back into the safe location that I already knew, which was to bridge up into a tree and wait for daytime. Once I was pretty sure it was daytime, I looked around, and I hopped off the tree to go exploring more. I got some wood because I knew I would need it. Once I had gathered enough wood, I started to climb the volcano and I found this guy. He looked super strong, and when I hit him, he took like 0 knockback. I was killing him, and then I saw he dropped iron, which was awesome. So with that iron, I made myself a shield to defend against all the other monsters. Closer to the top of the volcano, I found this giant lake, and there were some mobs inside of it. And there wasn't just mobs, because there were some underwater caves. I knew that I would explore those later, but first I had to get some food, so I killed some fish, and then ran down the mountain right after that. I actually came back up and I found something. It was a chest at the top. And inside of it, it had a map, and inside is this video's sponsor. You gotta watch it now. Let me tell you about this video's sponsor, Pixelmon2Go. Pixelmon2Go is an amazing community-driven project that brings you into the world of Pokemon. They have many cool features such as voice chat, dancing emotes, costumes, and daily events such as huge boss battles. They also have entertainment shows where people can sing or perform. Here's what the textures and costumes look like in-game, and it's all through this amazing launcher. You can log in with your Mojang or Microsoft account. All you have to do is download it, press play, and start your adventure today. Now, back to the actual video. After the evening, I found some more food, which I was happy to take. While going around the island that night, I found a streak of beach guarded by some mutant zombies. I didn't know if I was powerful enough to take on 2 of them, so I ran and thought of a strategy. My strategy was to lure one of them over at a time and kill that one and then go get the other one. I successfully got this guy over and used my shield to block his attacks. A couple hits later and the zombie was finished. Now I just had to kill the other one and light up the island. I realized that I already had 3 wool, so I crafted myself a bed that I could sleep, and now I didn't have to go through the nights. I thought that would help, but I woke up to tons more creatures over there, so I made some axes because mine were getting low, and decided to take them on. I forgot how insane this monster's reach is, so I started to rapidly hit it to try and get into the lava, and when that didn't work, I towered up to make sure it couldn't hit me. After confirming that it couldn't hit me from here, I jumped down to kill it once and for all. Once I had successfully done that, I went out looking for some food because I knew I would need a lot of it. By this point, I had gotten a good amount of food, so I got some cobblestone so I could help build a nice starter house so that I could survive the nights. And the mobs, of course. After barely surviving another night on the island, I thought I earned a good sleep, so I went to bed. The first thing I did when I woke up was cook some of the food I had gathered so that I could actually regen. And then I went out mining for some more resources because I knew I would need a lot more to survive this island. To make my compound, I would need a lot of stone, so I went up to the top of the volcano and started to gather some. By the time I had finished, it was nighttime, so I made my way back over to my base and went to sleep. On the morning of day 6, I cooked up some of my iron and made myself a bucket and went to go get some water for it. Now that I have a water bucket, I could survive if I fell in lava or if I was caught on fire. I saw some grass, so I picked up some seeds and started a farm back at my base. And after I finished that, I tried to go to sleep, and then my screen started to swirl around me, and I heard this noise. I don't know what the island was doing this time, but it was something weird, and it kept getting even worse and worse. Eventually, when I was able to go to sleep, I woke up and it was gone, and that was super weird. When that was all over, I tended to my crops a little bit, and then I made myself an orange bed because I had acquired some orange dye. I then went over to the water caves, explored for a little bit, and then left immediately because they were boring. I went up to the top of the volcano when I saw this guy. I knew I was going to be able to take them on this time because I'd learned their patterns a little bit more. And after not too long, I was able to finish him off. I placed a water bucket at the top of the mountain, collected it, and then went down the whole mountain. And it was kind of cool, but then I realized I created a whole tsunami of water. There was so much on this mountainside. Made my way down and then went to bed. The next day, I figured I would clean up some of the garbage that I had built around the island. I then tried to make another portal with just a water bucket and left immediately. Now I just had to flatten this area out, and I did this in the form of a montage, so enjoy. I finished out flattening this area and I went to bed. I of course started my day by tending to my crops a little more, and soon after that I went to get some dirt to expand my farm some more. I placed around the outside layer and added some seeds, so now I was getting 2 times the amount of crops. And with that stone, I made some stone brick walls so I could place them around the whole island area to make my compound a little bit more like a compound. And when I had finished that, it was starting to come together beautifully. I wanted to texture the sand beach floor, so I grabbed some gravel from a nearby area, and some coal because I was there, and then I came back home and went to sleep, and on day 12, I started my day off by placing some torches around the fence. Now it was time to use that gravel, so I took my shovel and made a little pathway in the sand, and then placed the gravel inside of it to add some texture to the floor. Because I had ample sand now, I put some in the furnace to make some glass. I then decided to go mining for some more coal because I was smelting a lot of things, and I was killing a lot of mobs. I left the caves almost dead, and then when I came up to the surface, I found 4 cows just sitting here. And I had my flint and steel out so I could burn them, cook them for their meat, and then I could have way more saturation. It was too late out to go home, so I found this cave to hide out in. Inside was some iron, and this is where I would wait out until morning. Once I thought it was safe, I came out in the morning time and there were still tons of mobs out. And I found myself in this situation where there were 3 baby zombies right after me. While looking for some more food, I found this donkey and I decided to spare it and kill this pig instead. And of course, I had to use the good old flint and steel tactic on this sheep. I noticed something really unusual, which was a ton of water flowing down the mountain. I climbed it up to check it out, and I made a boat because I was going to do something really fun. I went to the top and then started to go down the whole mountain on a boat. After that fun, I fought a little bit in the night, and then I woke up to day 16 to all of my furnaces have been smelting a lot of my items. I collected the iron and then figured I'd make myself some new tools because the other ones were broken. I then AFK'd for a while and waited for my items to finish smelting. When I finished AFKing, I collected all of the glass and the iron, and then I made myself a new shield so that I could fight some of the creatures better. I saw this mutant zombie, he was on my property, so I decided to remove him nice and peacefully. With the iron that I had, I made some iron bars to put around the fence line to make the compound actually look like one. And with that almost finished, I went to bed. And of course, I started my day off by harvesting my crops. I then thought it was a good time to go mining, so I found a cave right here and fought some zombies off. In this cave, I was able to acquire some lapis, a really good amount of iron, and I found this. This is weird. It had some terrifying noises coming from it, and it looked pretty dangerous. I got down to investigate and to kill the thing, and it hit me and it gave me a wither effect. And then it transformed into an even more overpowered version. I thought it was going to be able to swim up the water stream, but luckily it wasn't, and it was able to stay down there. It almost got up this time, but I hit it back with my axe. I continued sending the creature back with my axe because I did not want to see how much damage this thing would do at full power. And after many hits, I was able to finish it off, but sadly it didn't drop anything. And when going to finish these zombies off, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, and it was diamonds. So I wanted to see how many I would get. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 diamonds out of 1 vein, not bad. I continued to collect a lot more resources such as iron, and then I left the caves. I took the iron that I got, put it into the furnaces, and then went to bed. The next morning, I got out my iron and made some iron bars to finish up the fence. When it was all said and done, I could say that it looked really good. With the diamonds that I had gotten, I made myself a diamond pickaxe, and then went to go get some obsidian. I tried mining it this way, but it wasn't very efficient, so I tried switching it up for the rest of it. I then made myself another flint and steel, and started to build the nether portal. I lit it up, and then went inside. And I got an awful nether spawn. I mean, this is one of the worst you can ever get. It was just nothing. So I went back home and watched the sunset. The next day, I decided to retexture the sand floor with some more gravel. I then got started on the main house, and I started with these pillars, but they didn't look very good, so let's go into a time lapse. And just like that, the house is done. I don't have anything inside, but I did move my bed in to go to sleep. I started off this day by actually making some doors, and I figured an iron door would fit the theme of the build. I took some torches and put them around the house so no mobs would spawn in it, and I wouldn't die when I'm sleeping. I then moved all of my appliances into the house, and now I had everything inside the house and looking good. Now that I had my nice house, I figured I'd go out and kill some mobs, like these guys. There were a lot of these mutant zombies, but with my new sword, they stood no chance. I killed those mobs during the night, and then day 25 I went to find some sugarcane. I found some next to this pond over here, and then brought them back to my house to replant them. When I was running inside, I noticed this guy in my window, and I don't know how he spawned in here because I had torches, but never the matter, I still killed him. With some of the sugarcane I got, I made myself a book, and with the 2 diamonds that I already had in this chest, I can now make myself an enchanting table. I crafted it, then walked it upstairs and looked for a good place to put it. I decided to put it in this corner right here. And because I already had some lapis, I just made some new iron armor, just a couple of them because I didn't have too much iron, and then enchanted them with basic enchants. And by the end of the day, I had full enchanted iron armor and tools, so I went back into the nether to see if I could find something interesting. I started to mine down, and after some mining, I found some open land that I could explore. While exploring, this guy came running at me, and I could tell it was a new mob, so I figured it would be powerful, so I killed it from my pillar. I don't know why, but I felt the urge to kill this zombie pigman. I killed it, but, you know, hitting a zombie pigman has repercussions. I tried to block this area off with some dirt, but they just kept spilling through. and I knew that I wouldn't be able to kill them all with just iron armor. The zombie pigmen somehow made their way up to me and started hitting me, and they did a lot of damage. At this point, I was on 3 hearts, and there were some more down here, so I had to hit one off there, and I was on half a heart with that block clutch. Not to mention the fire right there. I only had a couple more blocks left, so if they were chasing after me, I could not heal up. I got over here and blocked off so nobody could spawn near me, and then ate my rotten flesh to heal up. That was close. After that close call, I went back home and tended to my crops to relax. Once I was done relaxing, I figured I'd go out and get some more iron. I found a ton right here, so this would set me for a little while. And right after getting that iron, I came down this waterfall and found some more diamonds. But first, I had to deal with this skeleton though. It was now time to see how many diamonds I got. I ended up getting 9 diamonds out of this one vein right here. And not even 2 seconds later, I was getting this redstone and I noticed diamonds over here too. And this one had a lot. I mean a lot. And there was iron and coal right next to it. I accomplished a lot during that mining trip, so I figured I'd leave and go back home. Once I had gotten home, I had tons of diamonds to work with, so I can make some new stuff, like a new axe. I'd also be able to make some new armor, such as a chestplate, leggings, and a helmet. I enchanted all these with like protection 1 and stuff, some basic enchants, and on my axe I was able to get efficiency 1. And I didn't want to die, so I went to bed. Day 33, I put my iron in my furnaces, did some farming, and gathered some cobblestone from this minery over here. I needed to start breeding some sheep if I wanted to get netherite because I did not want to mine it the regular way, and I wanted to use beds, so I made this area over here that I could breed the sheep. I also tricked out my farm a little bit more with some stairs and then went to bed. Now on day 34, I had to go out looking for some sheep, and luckily I found some right here, and a pig. I lured all 3 of the sheep back, and then put them into my pen, and now I can breed the sheep. I also know that if I wanted to shear them, that they would need grass to eat, so I got started on making a nice renewable grass resource. Later in the night, I wanted to get my levels up, so I went out killing some mobs, but this island isn't short of them, because I got berated with all sorts of mobs, almost killing me. I made it home, and on day 35, I made myself an anvil and placed it upstairs. I was also curious about what lied beyond the lava, so I took my water bucket out and searched for something. And this took a long time. I mean, I went out for a long time, but I didn't find anything. I mentioned the walk back was not desirable because I was low on hunger. But I did make it back home and went to sleep. Then breeded up my sheep, and I figured I'd give the nether a little peep. I honestly hope those were some decent rhymes. Back to the topic at hand, I fought another one of those zombie pigmen, and it lit me on fire. But I also saw this glowstone, so there was an upside. I didn't really have a reason for being there, so I just brought the glowstone home, crafted them into blocks, and then went out on the lava to see what I could find. After another 5 days of traveling, I found something. I found a ridge between the water and the lava, and there was a sea serpent coming right at me. I figured that this was the fire dragon's doing, secluding me on the island, but I was too smart and used my water bucket to get back. I barely made it back home with 1 heart, so I had to be super careful while roasting these sheep so I could get some food back. I was able to regen and not die, so that was good, and then I went out to get some wood. And after a pretty excruciatingly long mining session, I came back home and made all of my wood into oak planks. I realized my little farm really wasn't doing it, so I went to an area with a lot of grass to make an even bigger farm. Once I had finished up the farm, I came around with some torches to make sure that no mobs would stomp all over my crops, and then I went to bed. I then replanted some of my sugarcane so I could expand the farm and get more paper. And after gathering wool the whole day, I was able to make 12 beds. These beds would help me mine some ancient debris. I was walking along the volcano when I found some cows and pigs right here. I was super happy because I was low on hunger, so I took my flint and steel to cook the meat. Sadly, that meat had gotten burned, but I didn't make the same mistake for the rest of the animals. I came back home and knocked out a lot of farming. I spent 3 days waiting for these crops to grow, and then I harvested all of them at once, and it was pretty satisfying. And by this point, I had gotten a lot of sheep, and a lot of beds. So with that done, I went to sleep. And on day 57, I figured I'd take some of these beds into the nether to see if I could get some ancient debris. I mined down to that Y level that I needed to be at, and placed my first bed. Of many. And right here I found a massive vein of ancient debris. With all of those beds used up, I was able to acquire 14 ancient debris. Now I just needed some gold from the nether to actually turn them into netherite. I spent a long time running around the nether looking for some gold, and I got a lot of it. I turned all of the gold that I had acquired into actual gold ingots, and then I smelted up some of my ancient debris. I was able to craft 3 netherite ingots, and I had 3 pieces of diamond armor, so that worked out perfectly. So after a good sleep, I woke up and made myself a smithing table. I placed it upstairs and then began to make my diamond armor into netherite armor. And I was actually looking pretty good. I wanted to test out my new armor, so I found this zombie over here, and killing him was actually a breeze. I then got some more beds and went back into the nether to get some more ancient debris. And after a lot more beds this time, I had gotten 22 ancient debris on this trip. So I made my way back home and put all of the ancient debris into the furnaces. I also saw that my sheep did not have enough space, so I made some stone brick walls and found a bigger area to put them in. Not to mention, with all the grass here, they'd be able to get their wool back really quickly after I shear them. So I took some of my wheat and lured all of them into their new pen. And I didn't realize how many of these guys there were, but there was a lot, so I'm glad I got them a new space. After that productive day, I went to sleep, and then on day 66, I came back with my shears and got a lot of wool. And my sugarcane was fully grown by now, so I harvested that up too. With just some of the wool that I had gotten today, I was able to make 41 plus beds, which was insane. I was able to craft 2 more netherite ingots, which I had 4 now, and I just needed some boots to have the full netherite set. But before I went diamond hunting, I figured I would need some good food, so I eliminated some of the sheep before I went to bed. I didn't really want to go diamond hunting, but I did want to go into the nether and explore some more, and I went on some risky cliff sides. But it was all worth it when I found some glowstone, and after I explored a little bit farther in, I found the nether fortress. I knew that if I wanted some blazerite ingots, I would need to kill these blazes to get a ton of blaze rods. Killing the blazes wasn't too hard, but I was also running on a hunger issue, but I had a ton of rotten flesh to keep me satisfied. After getting a good amount of blaze rods, I decided to go home because I was kind of sick of the nether. Speaking of sick, if you haven't noticed, I've been trying to do a good job of it. I am sick while doing this voiceover, so please don't roast me in the comments. Putting that aside, I was able to make 3 golderite ingots, and I didn't know really what I made until I had finished it. I made golderite ingots instead of blazerite ingots, and I'd already put the golderite on my chest plate. So I figured that I would just do the whole set because I would rather have a full set of good armor than just have mix match everything. After getting golderite all over my armor, it looked very good, but I just needed some boots. But I was low on food, so I came back over to the sheep and killed them to get some more food. I also knew that I would need some leather, so I came back to the spot where some of the mobs spawn, and I found 2 cows up here and a sheep. I only wanted the cows, so I brought the cows over slowly and steadily, and without losing my sanity or the cows, I brought them into the sheep pen to keep them in here. Since I had 4 wheat, and they were right here, I bred them up and started to work on my cow population. I was just chillin' running into my house when a zombie spawned up there on the staircase. And there wasn't just one, I ran upstairs and found another one in my bedroom. I don't know how they're spawning in my house, because I have it lit up. I'm gonna blame it on the dragon. Since another one of my shields is broken, I made myself a new one, and then went out and got some wood. And of course, if you chop down a tree, you have to replant another 1 or 2 in its place. Since there were no more animals in the compound, I removed all this grass and filled it up with sand because I wanted to put a build here soon. That night, I went out adventuring for some more mobs, and I got them. I found a ton of mobs right here, I mean hundreds what it looked like. I used a creeper to blow up these over here, but there were still a lot of mobs after me. There were some baby zombies, and some mutant mobs. I eventually escaped with my life, and then went home and went to sleep. But after all of that fighting, I was low on food, so I burned some of my sheep to get some food back. I then went into a cave to look for some new resources. Down there, I found some gold, and after I found that gold, I had found some more iron. And after that iron, I found some diamonds, and when I dropped down, I took some fall damage. These diamonds were pretty nice. I was able to get 5 out of them. Correction, I was able to get 6. I forgot about that one down there. I got back to the compound, and there was this zombie over here, and I decided to fight him. He was actually not dying, and I think the mobs were getting stronger throughout the days. I woke up on day 75, crafted myself some diamond boots, then I went into my chest to grab a netherite ingot and a blazerite ingot. I brought them up and made them into blazerite boots. I then took those blazerite boots and enchanted them with protection 1. Sadly, I didn't get another enchant on them, but I was looking really good with all of my armor on. I wanted to expand my house, so I had to break this area over to the left of it. After I finished up with that, I took some of the cobblestone that I had and smelted it into stone so I could change it into stone bricks. It was getting late, so I was going to wait till tomorrow to start the build. finished the build, and this is where I'm going to be putting my enchanting table setup. And I even added a balcony from my main house to this house. I added doors to the enchanting house, and then took a look at it, and it was looking pretty good. There was a sunset, so I was going to enjoy it. Day 77, and I started off by putting the enchanting table in the enchanting room. Right after that, I harvested some sugarcane. I decided to breed up the cows and the sheep because I knew I would need more leather in the future. And to end off the day, I harvested all of these crops right here to breed up the animals. It's day 78 and I'm pretty low on hearts right now, so I can't really get into many fights and there's a lot of mobs on my compound. This mutant creature started attacking me, and I just hopped behind the wall and then ran away. I got back into my house a little while after that to get some beds for some more mining. And because I've already done this a couple times, I'm just going to skip to the end and show you how many ancient debris I got. I came back on the night of day 83 with 13 ancient debris, and I was pretty low on hearts. I had some leather and I had some paper, so I crafted some books, and then I turned those into bookshelves so I could add it to my enchanting table setup. There was another mutant creature outside, so I decided to take it on. These things are still insanely powerful, and even with my full netherite armor, it still did a lot of hearts on me. Because I was pretty low on food, I decided to go over to the sheep and burn them to get some cooked mutton. I then took those bookshelves, put them behind the enchanting table, and then I made myself a grindstone so that I could disenchant some items. I put the grindstone upstairs right over the anvil because it looked really good there. And then I disenchanted my pickaxe, and then I went to go combine it because I wanted a netherite pickaxe. But I didn't just want a netherite pickaxe, I got a blazerite pickaxe, and this pickaxe allows me to break anything and cook it. Well, kinda smelt it, I'll show you here. I put this iron down on the ground, I broke it with my new pickaxe, and it smelted it automatically. This would be super useful for the nether, and just a lot of other things. I figured I'd go to the nether to try it out on some gold. I don't know what I was thinking because it breaks into nuggets. I thought it would give me ingots, but that didn't work. And then I found this biome, and I made a cool little cinematic for it. Once that cinematic was done, I basically just left the nether because I didn't really need to be in there right now. But there was somewhere where I did need to be. I needed to be breeding my cows because I needed leather to get better enchants, because I needed to kill the dragon before he wiped out all of existence. So I spent a full day breeding up cows, and I got a lot more of them. While I was going upstairs, I found another one of these creatures in my house, even though I have it perfectly lit up, and it was daytime. I had no idea what was going on. I'm blaming the dragon once again. And because I was out of crops, I decided to wait in AFK for all these to grow. Once they were fully grown, I was able to breed a lot of cows, and then right after that, I was able to harvest some sugarcane. And then I went to bed. But wait, there's a monster nearby, and of course there's a skeleton right there. Then I checked on my roof and there's a creeper. This is not going to be good because if it blew up, I'd be very irritated. So I waited for it to get to the ledge and I hit it off. And it wasn't dead yet, and I jumped over. Then I placed a water bucket, and I made this whole area obsidian, which was really annoying because it was super ugly. I tried to mine it up, but one piece of obsidian takes really long, and I did not want to do it yet. So I went to bed. And then the next day, I decided to try out my pickaxe on these cows, and it worked. It actually cooked them whenever I hit them. Well, killed them. With the leather that I had gotten from that, I was able to make 7 more bookshelves to get better enchants. Once I was done breaking all the obsidian, I filled the whole area in with lava to make it look better. Then I went and killed some sheep because I needed some more food. And I got enough leather to finally finish off my enchanting table, so now I had level 30 enchants. If you want to get level 30 enchants, you actually need 30 levels, so I went to the nether to mine some nether quartz to get some easy XP. And then I came back with 30 levels the next day. But it was late, so I went to sleep, and on day 92, it was time to actually upgrade my stuff. I put my blazerite pickaxe in, and I got efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3, which is an insane enchant. Then I went back with that pickaxe to get some more levels, and then I came back to the overworld to actually get better enchants on my armor. I got protection 4 and aqua infinity on my helmet, protection 3 on the leggings, and protection 2 on the chest plate. I settled for protection 2, should be good enough. And then I also got looting 1 on my axe, which wasn't bad at all. I went to sleep, and on day 93, I went right back into the nether to get some more XP. I came out with 33 levels, which was going to be more than enough to get what I actually wanted on my chest plate, and I got protection 4 on it. As you can see, I was very happy about this. Now that I had everything ready, I could go look for the dragon out at sea. After one day of running, I made my way over to the sea, put my boat down, and then rowed over. There's a sea serpent right behind me, but I could outrun it on my boat. On the night of day 95, I found something. This looked pretty cool because there's a bunch of glowing ores on it, and there's a diamond, so I went down, got the diamond, and then came back up for air. I wanted to investigate it more because I've never seen anything like this, and it was at sea, so it wasn't on the volcanic island. I jumped down and there are some creatures down here, and a creeper that greeted me very nicely. Right out of the corner of my eye, I found it. I found the fire dragon. Now I just had to figure out how to kill it. First, I wanted to look in all of these chests to see if I could find some better loot to do that. I had to be really quiet not to wake it up yet. I found some manuscripts and I thought they might be important, so I took them out of this chest, and I found some more in another chest, so I took those too. I was trying to be wary next to this dragon because I wanted to get this chest, and then the dragon woke up. It was flying around and it was trying to attack me. It did a lot of damage with its fire attack, but luckily I had my water to save me. While I was looking around for anything to help me, the dragon shot some fire at everyone in here, and it was through the water, and I didn't know how he did it. Then he picked me up from the cave and dropped me into the water. I saw this ravine over here and I knew that it would be safe for cover. I used my pickaxe to mine into the ravine to make sure the dragon couldn't get me. And after some mining, I found an open area where I could just walk around and do other things. So this is nice. I was peacefully mining some coal and iron when something from above struck fire at me. And this was the dragon, and I was so far underground I did not know how it could hit me from there. I knew from right there and then that I had to get out of there ASAP, so I made my way home. I was able to escape the dragon from a labyrinth of caves, but that was about it. I knew in my state right now I wouldn't be able to defeat the dragon and save the whole world, but something was calling me to the top of the volcano, so I went. I made it to the top and I was looking for the epicenter of the volcano. Something was telling me that there was something that I needed up here, but it was already at build height, so I had to place my water right here. And after locating the center of the volcano, I looked down and right-clicked, and there was a set of dragon armor, but then this ghost came up and attacked me. Clearly something didn't want me finding this armor. I didn't know how good this ghost was or how dangerous it was, but I was able to kill it in a couple hits. I then came back to the chest area over here to see if I could grab the armor, and another ghost came out of nowhere. So I had to kill that one too before I grabbed the armor. I realized a pattern that every single time I opened the chest, a ghost would come out. So I grabbed the armor really quick, and the sword, or whatever it was, and I killed the ghost right after that. Then I wanted to test out the armor, so I put it on, and I was looking great. I was ready to kill the dragon. But this thing was super powerful, so I wanted some extra security. So I went home, grabbed some lapis, and enchanted all of the armor with basic enchants. After I was done with that, I went upstairs and went to sleep because tomorrow I would have to kill the dragon. But first I wanted some more food so I could regen during the fight. So I killed the rest of my cows, and then I went back to the dragon. And I found it out of nowhere, and it looked mad that I found that armor. It picked me up to drop me, but I was already in water, so I took no fall damage. The dragon came back down to pick me up again, and I was hitting it while it was in midair. It lit me on fire, then dropped me, and I went back down with my stake to regen. Mid-fight, I went into third-person mode to hit it because I needed a better view. I swam to the lair so I'd be safe for a little bit, but I still had to deal with all these mobs. I swam up to the surface to finally kill this thing, because it kept swooping down, and that's when I was able to hit it. This fight was going on day in and day out, and it was already the night of day 98, and I was still fighting the dragon. This dragon was tough, but whenever it came down to swoop and kill me, I hit it with my axe, and this axe did a ton of damage to dragons. This fight was going on for way too long. It was already day 99, and I had to finish up this dragon by day 100 ASAP. It was the night of day 99, and I was getting it pretty low, and I knew that for sure. But it kept picking me up, and I was able to hit it midair. Then after one hit, it fell down and died right behind me. I knew I had to be fast because I needed to grab something so that I could stop the volcano. I rummaged through the dragon to get the dragon eggs because I needed to place that at the top of the volcano so that it wouldn't destroy the world. And once I had swum down and grabbed it, I finally got it, and now I had to make it home quick. It was the night of day 100, and of course one of these guys pops up. Luckily, I had my new axe and it destroyed it in one hit. It was nearing morning time, and I had to get this thing up there quick, and there were still mutant creatures that were trying to delay me. When I got up there, I started to see the sunrise, and this wasn't good. I needed to place these eggs up there quick. And right when I did it, some lava particles popped up, and I'd done it. I stopped at only 30 seconds away from it being daytime, so that was way too close. And for safe measure, I took the fire dragon heart and tossed it into the lava. I had now saved the world, and now the volcano wouldn't erupt and kill everything. I hope you all did enjoy this video. I recorded this whole thing while I was sick, so it took a lot out of me, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed, and see you in the next video, guys.